$1 million. You're either born with it, or you must earn it. And in this series, we'll earn it.
Welcome to the road to $1 million company. My name is Jérémie. I'm the CEO and founder of Hornet Energy. What it is, it's an all-natural energy gel that's based on honey. And welcome to the second ever episode. This week, for week one, the title should be the four-figure mark and ambassadors. Because, spoiler alert, we reached the four-figure mark. But before we dive into anything that happened last week, I want to thank you guys for last week's video's support. Honestly, at the time, I had, I think, 3 subscribers that were all friends of mine, and I was expecting, frankly, 20 views perhaps. Who knows? We got about 400 views, and we're now up to about 30 subscribers. So I'm really thankful for this. Honestly, the goal was never for me to reach out for views or anything. It was just to have this as a vlog for myself when I'm older and everything. But I'm really happy that people want to tag along the journey. It makes me feel pretty good, honestly. When I recall, I think it was last week, I think it was Friday night, I was in my bed, about to go to sleep, and I get an email that somebody had left a comment on the video. And I'll tell you, man, I went to sleep smiling, honestly. So thank you guys for the support. It's really appreciated. So this week, what happened? We officially crossed the four-figure mark in revenue. Well, we're up to about $1,400 in revenue so far since October 24th. We were soft launching, we were doing a lot of demos, selling to gyms, and now they sell on our behalf and everything. But this week we started to post a lot of content, and we reached about 1,400 sales total since the start of everything. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, when you launch a business, you don't think about reaching your first $1,000 as something big. Just for reference, our fixed costs in general for the business are about $2,200 a month. That includes rent, insurance, Shopify, and all these subscriptions as well. So we're not there yet, but we're pretty damn close. And our break-even point rather, is $3,300. So if you include our cost line and our profit line on each sale, it would take us. I mean, when we reach about $3,300 in revenue, we're actually breaking even, and at that point, we're profitable. So that's the name of the game for us, is to get to that level and more. Our goal for the remainder of 2023, it's obviously Q4. There's higher spending. Our goal is to get to that $10,000 in revenue before the start of the new year. So yeah, and in today's episode, I'll talk about how we're going to reach that. So as the title suggests, it's through ambassadors. We've made some big signings in the past week, which I'm really happy with. First of all, we just launched the Hornet Athlete program. As the name suggests, once again, it's a program for athletes that are sponsored by us. So as of now, we signed 2 athletes. Number one, the first one we signed, his name is Tommy Morrison. He's a 24-year-old professional MMA fighter that fights out of Tristar in Montreal, the same gym as GSP. He currently fights in the Samurai MMA promotion, which is one of the biggest leagues in Quebec. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm from Montreal myself. But yeah. And he's 5-0. He's ranked number 2 in Canada. I think his division is the 135-pound one. But yeah, he's really promising. Being the second ranked in Canada at age 24 is double decent for sure. But he's so promising, and he's being watched by the UFC, by Dana White. We expect for him to make his debut in the UFC this year. And he's also being watched by Khabib Nurmagomedov as his coach, which tells you a few things. Whether he goes with him or not, if he's interested in training this guy, it means something. He's got a background in jiu-jitsu. I think he's a brown belt, and overall he's a fantastic striker. Reminds me a bit of Max Holloway the way he strikes, but I'm not that big of a. I mean, I love the UFC, I love MMA, but I don't I'm not that knowledgeable about it. But if you guys are, please take a look. It's official. He's a Hornet athlete, I'm personally I'm so happy with it, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, right? I'm a 22-year-old kid. I'm launching my business. I don't want to be content with such few things, but the fact that a drawing in my notepad that about a year ago now made it to a first official athlete, to me is it's pretty mind-boggling. So I'm really happy with that, honestly. It's a pretty good deal, but moreover than just his whole athlete side of things, he understands social media. He's got about 30,000 followers on Instagram. He's already made a couple of reels that got more than a few million views. So he understands that point of view, and that's for us the goal of this program is to place together a really good athlete with a lot of potential with social value. And when you tie these two things together, you get more contracts for the athlete. They'll get better promotions. They'll get the best spots in their leagues. And I mean, right now it doesn't apply because it's so small and we don't pay these athletes nowhere near enough to survive on this alone. But in the grand scheme of things, the more they build their brand and the more they have an attraction to their personal brand, the more outside deals they can get with other companies, and they can get more money. And if they have enough money to survive without having to work a part-time job or anything, that means they can devote more time to their art, their sport, and that means higher returns in the long term. So that's the essence of the Hornet Athlete program. So I'm really happy to have the first ever Hornet athlete. But the second one, his name is Nick Golimbiowski, is a ultra marathoner like David Goggins. He runs like 550 kilometers in the space of a few days, which to me still I don't comprehend. I'm not a runner myself. I run like 3 to 5 kilometers once in a while, just because I haven't ran in a while, just to keep myself running. But yeah, he's a running maniac in the most positive way possible. He lives running. He's also 24 years old, but his whole life is dedicated to running. He's got his own running coaching business, which he survives and he thrives off. And he's just all he does is running, and that's what we want. And it might be more than just an ambassador with him, because he's really into the product, and he actually reached out to us. And I mean, we need people that are pros and that understand their field more than anybody else, and he understands running more than anybody else. So having him in the team is something that is up for discussion for sure, because right now we can't afford to have people in the team like this. But having him on board for now is amazing, and I mean overall I'm really optimistic of these two things. But moreover than that, outside of athletes, we also signed some brand ambassadors. There's a few that were smaller that we just gave supply to. One of these guys, his name is Guillaume. He's from Quebec City, and he just left on his bike all the way to Miami, and he just pedaled all the way down there. We learned about him through our Instagram feed ourselves, and we just sent him a box in Jacksonville, Florida, and he was able to retrieve that box at a post office and use our products in Florida, which was amazing to see. Honestly, we made a quick video about it. If you guys want to check out our Instagram, you'll see a lot of reels. But yeah, so a few little guys like this, but we also landed a big fish, if you will. His name is Mishka. He's got, I think, about 200,000 followers on Instagram and some 600,000 on TikTok. So different game, and he posts, and his content for Mishka is more variety, I'd say. So he's more of a funny guy, but. Until the end of 2023, he's doing a fitness challenge where he wants to get to sub 15% body fat, and we're sponsoring that challenge. So he's going to post one story every single day until the end of the year, and hopefully we see some returns on that too. But we think we should, because I think everybody and every entrepreneur is guilty of this. When you think about, without doing some crazy computation. You'll do okay, if this guy gets 40,000 views per story and 1% of those are interested, and we actually land 1% of those, and we've all seen these calculations, but the 1% would mean 4 sales per story, and at that point, I think our break-even cost with him is 100 sales total. So 45 times 4 is 180. Is that right? Yeah. And I mean, if that happens, we're well within our money. So yeah. So this was our plan when it comes to ambassadors, and this is how we think we'll reach our goal of hitting 100,000. Yes, I wish $10,000 in revenue before the end of the year. Moreover than that, we're also reaching out to bike shops, running stores, everything that could be tied to our product when it comes to marketing. We're just trying to, get our product known by people as much as possible. That really is the name of the game for us. We're a brand new brand, and the sole goal for us is to get known and to have some kind of momentum going for us. That's the name of the game for us. And yeah, if you guys want to see what we've done so far and when it comes to marketing, I'll leave a link down to our Instagram. But if you don't speak French, it's probably not relevant to you because right now our content is solely in French. As I've said, I'm from Montreal and my first language is French. You might ask yourself, well, why are you doing content in English? Well, it's a hard question that I don't really have the answer to. So our content is in French as of now because of two things. First of all, in Quebec, when you have a piece of content that goes viral, you're in forever, basically. And second, this camera is not focusing, it's pissing me off. Right. Secondly, we have all the connections in the influencer market to have something really decent in Quebec. So the deals that we've landed with the ambassadors, not the athletes, we actually knew the ambassadors before and the influencers like actually personally. So we got really good deals. So that helps us to market our product. And we use Quebec as a bit of a testing ground for our product. We see if it's viable, which we think it is based on already what we've done. But we want to get to that 10K mark so we could actually prove to ourselves and to the market that our thing is worth buying and there is interest. But we plan to launch English content in 2024 along with a new variant of our product. I can't say yet what it is, but boy, am I excited for this product. It will be something special. Oh yeah, honestly, I don't want to tease you guys. You guys will get to know before it's launched because I want to have this privileged relationship with you guys. But I can't tell exactly now. I can't say exactly now what it is because you never know who's listening, and time is key in business. I see business as a form of war. I don't know if you guys read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. But anyways, I'm just a fan of war in general. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I read a lot of books about war. Time is one of the number one factors when it comes to success. And you guys will get to know beforehand, before it's actually launched, but maybe a week before, not a month before. But when that new product launches, this is when the English content will be born. And I mean, at that time, I'm so excited for it, honestly. And I can't wait to show you guys what it is, which I think I will be able to within 3 weeks from now. I think I'll be able to show you guys what it is. So that pretty much does it when it comes to the revenue section and the ambassador section of things. But I wanted to talk about a few other things when it comes to the business. So first of all, this beautiful machine. With this machine right now, we could scale up to $50,000 a month in revenue, which is double decent. But the thing is with this machine, if it breaks, the guy's not going to fly from China all the way here to fix it up. If it breaks, it's this guy who's got to fix it. And I mean, I'm not terrible at manual stuff. But I'm no handyman. That's the thing. So if it breaks, we're in deep waters. So we're in contingency. I don't know if you can say that, but there's really good chances that we receive $60,000 in funding in the next few weeks, next few days, who knows? And with that money, we might buy a second machine because, as I said, if it breaks, we're fucked. So, I mean, that amount of money that we will receive is from an organization called Futurpreneur. And I mean, if we receive that money, which there's really good chances, it's a game changer for us. We can scale, we can get more inventory, we can buy a second machine. There's a few other things we have to get in check when it comes to regulations as well. But that amount of money will be crucial for us. In newsflash, you need money to run a business, bar none. And this amount of money is going to be really helpful. And if we can tie, an upwards trajectory of sales with that amount of money. Our launch in English with a new product is going to be really successful. But yeah, when it comes to the actual operations, I think you guys are pretty much up to date. And yeah, I mean, we shot a lot of content. As I've said, you guys can go watch our Instagram. But it's hard to manage everything. So I don't know how much you guys want to know about my personal life, but I'm a full-time student. So right now I'm approaching my finals. So right now it's really hectic. I'm not gonna sit here and complain. Listen, this is the life I chose. I'm 22 years old. I know what I'm getting into, and I'm never gonna whine about personal decisions. That'd be idiotic. With that being said, though, it's pretty rough, and time is really scarce, and I'm trying to manage everything. So we're still doing enough when it comes to the business, but I mean, you guys will see. I think there's a pretty hefty correlation between the time that we put in the team and the actual output we get from the business when it comes to sales and everything. But yeah, more than that, I mean, money for me right now is so funny. I'm so broke. I've literally put all the money that I had in this business. I'm, as you say, balls deep. I think I've put in about $30,000 of my own money. I am flat broke. And to tell you how broke I am, I've got a class tomorrow and I have a presentation that I need to do. I can't even afford to go to school, which is funny. I work part-time, so I'm getting a paycheck on Thursday. It's fine, no worries. But right now, I don't have a cent to my name, and I'll have to find a way to get to school. But yeah, it's fine. I'm not here I'm not here to complain or anything. It's just I want you guys to know. I want you to know how much I've sacrificed for this, and I think that anything under that level of sacrifice is not going to make results. I'm totally dedicated to this craft and this business, in a timely manner, in a financial manner, everything. I'm invested like as much as I can, literally. And yeah, I mean, I always say that if I hadn't had this business idea, I would have had a really nice summer. I would have had, perhaps a new car. I mean, 30,000 is a really nice summer, especially when you're 21, 22. But you have to ask yourself, what is a nice summer to a nice life, and what is a nice summer to literally my dream? I mean, I told you guys in the previous episode that it's been a dream of mine to have a commercial space and have a team that just is with me along this journey to making that product more than just something we sell, but more of a movement and everything. And to me, that's just worth so much. And sacrificing everything and being flat broke for a few months out of my 20s, I'm more than happy to do so. And this fucking camera's not focusing. But I just want to preach how much sacrifice you need to put in for this business. I mean, you guys know this. You guys probably are tired of hearing this shit. You need to sacrifice it all, but it's true. I am ready to go completely belly up for this. I love what I'm doing, honestly. Just this view of this machine in my commercial space, and the fact that we have athletes now and everything, I'm really happy with. Not that I'm content with, very different things. I'm a really ambitious person. But yeah, I mean, I love what I'm doing, and to me, it's really worth it. And I've got a feeling that if everything goes to plan, which probably won't, but if we're successful in everything, which I think will happen, I look back at these years and these videos like this, I'll be like, when I'm like 35 or something, and I'll look back at this video of my 22-year-old self, broke as shit, in this commercial space. I'll look back at those times with pride and with joy, honestly. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do these videos. I journal every single day before I go to sleep, but still, it's seeing my face. I mean, right now I'm in front of the camera. I imagine there's like 300 or like 400 views, like 400 of you behind the camera, but man, I'm just rambling on, honestly. But I'm really happy with what I'm doing. It feels great. I'm balls deep, as I said, but I would not want it any other way, if I'm honest. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of The Road to $1 Million Company. I don't know if you guys make it this far into the videos. They're pretty long, about 20 minutes. I think it's a good amount. The goal is not to be, like super dynamic. I don't want to be a Mr. Beast on this YouTube thing. I just want to share my experiences, and I'm glad that you guys are watching it. And if you've enjoyed it, I guess leave a like. I feel weird asking for a like. If you like it. That's it, plain and simple. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.